Wicked Witches. It's the dark moon, and we're going to be having the dark moon ceremony for the Luna in half an hour, and I'm going to put on my makeup, and I just thought we could maybe hang out while I did it. I wasn't going to put any makeup on, and then I just filmed a video for the Witchfool course, and it's one of those annoying things, but if you're doing stuff on screen, you just look a little bit washed out, and so it is better to put some makeup on. So I just thought you could join me while I did that. I've just been looking at what's happening in terms of the astrology for this chunk of time, and everything's retrograde at the moment, which means that it's about doing inner work time. And I just think it's really interesting because Bojo and like the establishment are all trying to get us to go back out and like crack on with everyday life. And I mean, first of all, nothing's changed. We don't have a vaccine. We have managed to like not overwhelm the NHS, but surely if we all go out and start hanging out with each other, that's, you know, I mean, basically nothing's changed. So either that was all a waste of time or this is just stupid. I'm hoping that we don't end up with another lockdown that's like stricter than the one before because we're having another spike. But anyway, the outer world and the establishment are pushing us to get back out there and get back on with patriarchal linear time and ignore the situation, ignore Mama Earth, ignore her warning, and just business as usual, crack on. Now, the fact that all the planets are retrograde means that all of that's going to go tits up for anyone organising stuff, anyone trying to make things happen. It's just going to be like, it's just going to be clumsy, there's going to be mistakes, there's going to be stuff going wrong. Now is a really good time for inner world work stuff. So like looking at what planets are retrograde, I mean, all of this with astrology is an invitation. It's not necessarily real. I do think that that there are, like, you know, in terms of, I mean, we see how the sun's relationship to the earth changes the seasons. I do think that there is some influence stuff going on there in terms of literally like what's happening with the seasons and the cycles and things. But for me, I see it all as an invitation, like with Inktober, which is a thing that they do on Instagram in October, where they do like a suggestion each day for things to draw. And I think that like each artist uses that same word and comes up with something completely different. So I think that that's what it is. Like everyone can interpret it completely differently and will react completely differently. It means something different to each person, but it's like an invitation to think about that influence. So at the moment, the retrogrades are an invitation for us to think about doing inner work and going in, which I think is what we should be doing right now. And it's the Venus retrograde, and she's like the goddess of love and creativity and juiciness and war. And she gets reborn on the 3rd of June as the morning star, which she's either the evening star or the morning star. And the morning star is like, she is like got her makeup on, she's wearing glitter, and she's going out into the world. So I think that's when we should be kind of aiming towards, like, not necessarily going out, because it would depend on what's going on in terms of like having a vaccine and all that kind of stuff, but like in terms of like saying stuff to the world, because it's Gemini as well right now, and Gemini's teenagery, got a lot to say, has all the answers, and it's the twin. So again, that's a really good time for doing inner and outer work, because we're working with the twin, like the Cain and Abel thing that I've talked about in previous videos. The Gemini is perfect time for doing Cain and Abel work. So 3rd of June, Venus is reborn as the morning star, and she is like going to be out there doing her thing. So I think this whole period until then, we should be really mindful about staying in our inner worlds and watching what we say, and being mindful of the fact that we're going to be wanting to just say whatever comes into our heads like a teenager, but that actually we might say things that are hurtful. We're going to be kind of going bleh, and other people are going to be going bleh, and to be mindful of that. And then on the 3rd of June, it's time to kind of be like, right, this is what I've come up with, and this is what I want to share creatively and emotionally. But you kind of want to go through the whole process so that you're not like you don't want to be making big decisions while you're in the thick of it. You want to give yourself a bit of time to do the full rebirth thing, and then come out looking fabulous, knowing where you're at. So that's my little advice about what's going on at the moment. And I just think, like, we don't want to be rushed. We've had this inner world time. We've had this time to think and try and like reevaluate like what we want in the world and what we want for our lives. And be really easy to just be like, get back out there. You know, this whole thing of like, there's going to be loads of problems with liver disease because everyone's been drinking too much. We just need to look after ourselves a little bit and be gentle, because this has been a big deal. And I don't know about you, but I've been having such crazy dreams. Like, I feel like I'm not getting any rest because I'm getting my dreams are as busy as being awake. So I'm not getting any rest at all. I've just been like, yeah, I've been as busy in my dreams as I have in real life. So there's a lot of programming to do. There's a lot of like getting our heads around all of this to do. It is going to be a different world. We live in a new world. And that's exciting if you let it be. And we need to like push for the things that we care about, because you know what's going to happen is the capitalists and the like Trump is going to be using this as an excuse to cut through any environmental measures that we have. You know, it's going to be used as an excuse to be able to just like smash it industry wise, and like, yeah, anything that's been put in place to protect the environment is going to be like of no interest whatsoever to the powers that be unless we force it. So we need to be really on that and make sure that they don't just start making everything like work 24/7 and harder than ever just to catch up, to make sure the economy catches up. I mean, the fact that we're even going outside is just, it's a bit like being in the trenches and being pushed over the top again. What they're saying is people's lives are less important than the economy. So it's people before, profits before people. So we need to be on our guard. We need to be strong and forthright in what we believe in, and not let them just push us back into nonsense. We need to be looking at shorter working weeks. We need to be looking at a universal wage, or like whatever that's called. Yeah, where you get like a wage each, like we all just get a basic wage. What's it called? Basic living wage, that sort of thing. Like we all need to get a basic living wage. And then if people want to be capitalists and make extra money and have a yacht, then they do that extra work. But if everyone's just covered, it's going to be one of the things that's, you know, here goes the snail here. Like, we've been convinced, we've been taught that we should just carry on being busy all the time, and we should be working really hard. And what the snail teaches us is that it's just not true. Like, I remember my aunt, like, in front of her daughter, just going, oh yeah, but lazy people who are like on benefits who don't do anything. It's like, you don't have to worry about them. They're not the ones inventing nuclear bombs. The people who are doing stuff are the ones you need to worry about. It's just another human being who's sat in a hammock smoking a spliff, and not the ones I need to worry about. They can do that. Thank you. Good. Sit down. Don't touch anything. Great. You're not on my list of concerns. It's the ones that are busy inventing bombs and bio bollocks, which is possibly what this thing is, and all the stuff. They're the ones you need to be keeping an eye on. So, yeah, we do need to shift the way we're doing things. Also, robots, like automated stuff. So many things are going to become run by robots that there isn't going to be the work anyway. So a big shift needs to happen, and we need to be pushing for that and not pushing for like business as usual and getting back to the way things were. So there you go. I've done my makeup. I'm gonna go do the ceremony now, and love you all.